Sports. It's the home team taking on the Carolina Panthers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses on the back. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
The game last week that if you win, you talk about it being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Even, 4 down, even.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
3rd play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands first and 10. Here comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Good Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Britt finding some room at midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 2nd down now, Britt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Oilers have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it. A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now. Because when you're down 7-0, you turn the ball over, they've got to go right back out there to try and keep it from getting to 14-0.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Check it out.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Open space inside the 10. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Oilers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes the offense go. When you're an RB1, running back 1, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game.
Sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
47 Mike, 47 Mike.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete here. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Sheds off the tackle and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll look to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's McLaughlin. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff will take a break. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On first down, it's Norris. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
2 times, 2 times. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Check 99. Run, 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 run.
The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's take over again.
Here we go. 47's the mic.
They'll run on first down. It's Norris. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. Well, they've done a pretty good job to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. Break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. And they have secured that spot in the playoffs, clinching the NFC North Division, in fact. So for the moment, they would be hosting a wild card game in round 1.
And I think it is cause for celebration. Let's not get hung up on the fact that only one team now gets a bye in the first round. Win your division, get to the playoffs, celebrate that. And by the way, they are guaranteed a home game. That's a good way to start the playoffs.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 60 Bison. 60 Bison. 3. Check. Hey, 31. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Smash. Watch the safety.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And some room to roam now. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll try the left side. Britt. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now a first carry for their fullback. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
But when you go from 2nd to 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
defense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
41.
They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 9 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. So they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
Double tight. Double tight. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Run.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Oilers are able to add on to that lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is up to 15 now. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is incomplete. Well played defensively. Nearly had the interception, but it's 2nd down.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak. And while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close. But the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Let's bring it.
Looking to throw. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Let's go now. 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Tackles.
On 1st down, Britt, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
41's the mic.
Now a give, right side. Britt. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
You're stuck with me in this booth, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Daniil Hunter in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Back to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure. So that challenge, a successful one. Eluding the pressure right. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one inside the 20. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed. You got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. 70 range.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hey, 18 rattler. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. Let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. With 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you each. We'll jump over halftime. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
He'll have a first down past the 40, and he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. They'll run on first down. Britt. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This will be caught. It's Waddle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. McCaffrey is into the end zone. Touchdown.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team. Far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for. And remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. It couldn't be more exciting than that.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. .36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now we give right side McCaffrey. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps it moving forward.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. Back to throw here. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5. So they bring out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. Not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. 47's the mic.
On first down, it's Barnett. Dances by him. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
47 Mike.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Dawson Knox, his second. Touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Mike.
They'll look to throw.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. 91 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking. And that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's McCaffrey. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Oilers are able to extend their lead. DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. You got 4. You got 4.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He finds his man, complete. That's Norris. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Go. Go.
They'll drop to throw.
Blue down.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. For this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Let's go, D. Mike's 47. Mike's 47. I can't believe it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's going the other way. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. And he will score. Touchdown, Carolina. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Calling a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This team can any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it.
Check.
Throwing left side, it's complete.
Come on and get it.
Touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Oilers add on to their lead. It's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time? Revenge, or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. The drive starts with a completion left side. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Let's go. Cougar 19. Flag 47. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
They'll look to throw here.
Here I come.
Finding Knox there, complete.
Let's go.
The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. 3 yards the gain there. Second down.
Three buzz. 47 miles.
Now back to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now here's a throw that's complete.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Drop deep, drop deep. 47's the mic, boys, 47.
They're going to look to throw.
Pick it up, it's our time, guys.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Point after, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Hey, let's get some penetration.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll go down at the 28.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the right hash, this from 48. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving, things are moving and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.